Welcome back, cricket lovers. It's time to dive into a spicy cricket curry, Parsi style. It's time to meet the community that was hitting sixes when the rest of India was trying to figure which end of the bat to hold.
अरे दिकरा hold जावा देनी. Let's talk about stories. है ना? बोलवा देनी. Let me talk.
Boloni.
It was the 8th century when the Parsis came into India from Persia, and while the rest of the country was trying to invent zero, the Parsis were building businesses, creating enterprises, creating huge big institutions, and obviously pioneering a little game which has now become a religion in India, cricket.
Now picture this, Bombay, 1840s. The Parsis are so cricket crazy that they form a club called Oriental Cricket Club. It's like forming an IPL team when IPL wasn't even a twinkle in BCCI's eyes.
Absolutely.
But wait, there's more. In 1886, the Parsis became the first Indian team to tour to England. It's like being the first to try British food. Brave, slightly foolhardy, but ultimately historic.
Well, there was another historic thing that happened around the same time, or maybe a little later. 1910 is when the Parsis instituted the Spencer Cup that was only for Parsi teams. And this cup probably could be the predecessor to the IPL. And that I name the Parsi Premier League, because it was only meant for Parsi teams. And there were a lot of teams in Bombay in those days which were playing that tournament. There was a team called Baronet, there was a team called Young Zoroastrians, there was a team called Elphinstone, there was a team called John Bright, and there was a team called Sasanian. And there was one particular cricketer who played for the last two teams, John Bright and Sasanian. You know who he is?
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Master Blaster, isn't it?
Wow.
But also I know that you were also a part of that league, weren't you?
Absolutely, I had the fortune of playing for Sasanian. So let's talk about three Parsi cricketers. One of them I saw, the other two I didn't actually see play for India. The first, Parsee. Tall, big and huge, almost like made stumps look like toothpicks. Parsee, whom we used to all call Polly Kaka, was the captain India. He was the first Indian to score a double 100 century in Test cricket. He was also the manager of the Indian team, an able administrator, and ended up as the secretary of the Board of Control for Cricket in India. A fantastic cricketer. To me, he was like Dhansak, packed a punch and very, very, very solid. After him, Nari Contract. Former captain of India, who was struck on the head in 1962 in the West Indies and had emergency operations in the West Indies and in India. Nari Contractor came back. He came back as if there's a way the phoenix rises from the ashes, because he was as tough as nails. To me, Nari Contractor will be Dhandar Patia, another fantastic Parsi dish. You must try them.
I will.
And last but not the least, there are many Parsi cricketers like Rusi Modi, Jamshedji, Dr. H.D. Kanga. But to me, let me zero in on one more name. The swashbuckling, all-time great wicketkeeper batsman, Farokh Engineer. Farokh Engineer was an enigma. I can tell you that if Farokh Engineer were playing T20 cricket today, he would have been the most valuable player of any team in the world. Outstanding player. Fantastic hard hitter. Farokh played for the rest of the world twice. 1970 against England and played for the rest of the world in 1972 against Australia. A fantastic wicketkeeper batsman and absolutely swashbuckling. He could have been a film hero.
Now let's take a quick dive into Parsi culture in Mumbai. Imagine a community that loves its cricket as much as its cuisine. That's Parsis for you. Now, Parsi cafes in Mumbai are like time machine with really good food. You walk into the cafe thinking about a cup of chai and bun maska, and you walk out having discussed the merits of cover drives and cutlets in equal measures. During Parsi New Year or Navroz, you're as likely to hear heated cricket conversation as you are to see traditional rituals being performed. It's like if Lords had a buffet of Dhansak.
Talking about heated discussions and food, the best place I like to go for is Parsi Gymkhana. Parsi Gymkhana is an institution which has served Mumbai cricket for a long time, right from the inception of from the 1888 when probably it was formed. And that is a place which has memories of the old masters of the past, like Dr. H.D. Kanga, Melli Pauri, coming down to Nari Contractor, Pauli Umrega, Rusi Surti, Farokh Engineer. It just encapsulates the entire Parsi culture of cricket, which the Parsis actually gave to this country. And what a culture it was. I mean, you scratch a Parsi on the surface and you'll find cricket in that person, you know, and that's how important Parsis were to Mumbai cricket. It's unfortunate that the community is dwindling and we don't have too many Parsis, but hey, I'm going to put my hand up. Any time for Dhansak and any time for a Parsi cricketer.
Me too. So the next time you're watching a thrilling match of cricket, do not forget to raise your glass of raspberry soda to the Parsis. They might be small in numbers, but in cricket, they've always punched above their weight. Much like their beloved Lagannu custard.
Absolutely. And you know what? You talk about Dhansak, you talk about Dhandar Patia, Lagandu custard, you get all that at Parsi weddings and Navjots. And after blessing the people, you know, who are getting married or who Navjots being performed, we all wait for that clarion call. And you know what they say? You say dinner is served, okay? They say Jamwa chalo ji. But in this case, the Parsis not only said Jamwa chalo ji, they said Ramwa chalo ji. And when they said Ramwa chalo ji, which means let's go and play, khelne ko chalte hain. And that's when Indian cricket started.